Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Nerve damage in your extremities. Good. I need someone who can smack a little sense into this colony. We'll put those marksmanship scores to good use. I bet you're vicious with a tossball stick.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
integrity down 25%. Power levels down 50%. If drive
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired, right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those... Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting out... gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. Edgewater's a little ways down. Pretty place.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders. Gall on that rung leech. I'd slap him with a fine if it... Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater. Just as soon as I cross these marauders, I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. Seriously? But those marauders will... Ugh. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go. Got them! That's my blade!
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized act. Hello. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating jettison procedures initiated. You are still here. My deception protocol. This vessel is the registered property of... I am incapable of accepting... I understand. I will require some time. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of... Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the unreliable... Best of luck in your search for a power...
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because it started making a bit of a clamor after you went in. Scared the marauders right off. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer... I'll waive your fee since you helped us with those marauders. If you're looking for work, talk to the constable down in Edgewater. She's got a bounty on marauders. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? It's in poor taste. Dressing up like a... ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of edge. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Got a knack for being discreet-like? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites. We rent them from... Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether never to be found again? Hope's just a rumor, friend. Ancient. Maybe you've been out in the sun too... Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about Hope this and Colony that, but you need to stop. Trouble's in the asking. Or don't much care for folk running their mouths, spreading hoaxes and... Something I... 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. He just is. Look. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that it. Yeah?
Grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might... I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a Marauder's outfit... Of course not. I don't have that... Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another... My proposition benefits the both. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power... Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power... I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited. The people living in the botanical labs, they're Edgewater is struggling. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company... My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters... Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what... That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But we belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all... Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith, for so politely listening to me as I...
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my... I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that...
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and...
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on... To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from... Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, It's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say. Something you need? I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the... And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season. I've never seen you before, and there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Half the time it's wrong, but also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who...
It's just...
Oh, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm simply bemoaning the... Yes. Yes, it is. I must double my efforts to elevate...
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage... I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. That seems well within your...
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others.
Adelaide McDevitt. I can see why that Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the... One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than... It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Something you need? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but real machines have gunked up oil, scratches. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum. It just comes off cold to me, is all.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't... Answers, huh? You must be one of those... Much obliged.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and... Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcome. I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's...
Why, thank you. You're Robert's... Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold dog. Let's hear it. Make amends. Spare me. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that piece off. He would do such a thing. Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. Well, if it's all the same to you, then you ought to divert power over to... You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holt?
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and...
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the... Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. I trust you.
Something you need? Just two more.
Investigating.
What'll happen to Miss...
Watch out!
Unexpected.
No, just leave me alone.
Oh, sweeping. Unexpected. Systems response. Investing. Growth performing.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but do you understand? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just... Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard work. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacers. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on. Really? I mean, wow.
Searching for...
Here they come! Here they come!
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa, Miss Parvati.
Are you,
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running. Just...
Oh gosh, no,
I seen you wandering around here. Well, what I meant was your reason. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from... Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering?
those are good. My dad kept a copy with him.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you... Would you? I've been thinking about going back. I get sick thinking. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. What's... Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Well, not until the power went and cut out. Now everyone's giving me sidelong look. Couple months. This camp's my home. I owe them my life.
Marauders can't see us in the dark.
The matter's been... Fact is, I can't go anywhere long as Zoe's missing. I've crossed off my share. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. Little ways ago, she was always... It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. Could do without the gallows here. I'll tell you what. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were... What is it?
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered. That's on account of how... I don't... She was in another division of the spacer. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born... It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of...
Any luck? I've been thinking of... I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Any luck finding what... No kidding! Really? Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I appreciate... In fact, I put aside some... Sure!